Welcome back, guys. Today we're doing something a little bit different. In the future, we're still going to have weekly car discussion videos, so don't worry about that being gone. This was just a crazy busy week. I felt like there was something better I wanted to talk about. So we're in kind of a different location. As you can see, we're not in my car. We're actually in my dining room. This is the house I moved into about 2 months ago now, and we're still getting settled. And I was setting up my shop, garage, but it's going to be my workshop space. And when you're a do-it-yourselfer, all of us in the industry, I think, or most of us, at work you're kind of hanging parts and diagnosing, and you don't get to do anything creative. So like, I know I personally love tinkering on stuff and making stuff nicer, so I have stuff in there like my welders and my powder coating oven that I use, and I was kind of thinking about it. At work when we're in the industry, we're diagnosing cars, we're putting parts on cars, everything's kind of gotten to this, so everything in today's world has gotten to be so unserviceable that a lot of times you don't really get to tinker like technicians back in the day did. So I really appreciate doing that kind of stuff, and it kind of keeps it fun, right? You come home, you don't want to just be hanging water pumps or hanging ball joints. You want to be like customizing and innovating. And for me, I love driving. You've seen some of my car reviews. I got a couple of those coming up. I have a Triumph that's just been a disaster that I need to get finished. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up, but we're going to take a little bit of a break from the auto industry and focus more on the do-it-yourselfer and the enthusiast side of things today. Now, as a do-it-yourselfer, a lot of you are, I'm assuming, like me, and you have all these good ideas and things you want to try, but you might not have the industrial equipment or the professional equipment to get the results that you would like. And I think one of the biggest areas of that challenge is painting or finishing materials. I know I find it very frustrating that you can go and get spray paint at Walmart, and it's so easy to do, and I've spent years really experimenting with spray paint and buying different brands and prepping my surfaces differently. And I can tell you right now, if you're spray painting, I don't care how you prep it, if it's going to see any traffic, any touching or friction, anything like that, you're not going to get a good result. I don't care how you prep it, I don't care how nice it looks, I don't care how much clear you put on top, I don't care about any of that. It's not going to last. And it's very frustrating when you get results from the can and it looks great and you know you did all your prepping right and it just doesn't adhere. It just doesn't, you guys. That's just not how it is, and I'm sure a lot of you have experienced that. So that leads me to my next thing is sometimes you can find ways around having like the best professional equipment and still get professional results. And that's the item I was excited to talk about today, and that is the Craftsman powder coating gun system. Craftsman. We'll get to that. There it is right there. So if we read the side of the box here, it says that this includes the gun, power supply, and the instructions. Alright, so then it says, what is powder coating? Powder coating is the process, blah, 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 blah. And it just goes through all this stuff on here, and I think it's kind of funny. It has a picture right there of 2 ovens, and it says appliance not included. So, how does this thing work? Well, essentially, most of the time when you have a powder coating setup, you have to have an air compressor. And I've used one of those setups before. It was a Harbor Freight, but it worked decently well. The problem that I ran into was that at the time I didn't have an air compressor big enough to get consistent flow from the gun. So I began kind of exploring my options, and I found this, and it's not made by Craftsman. A different company makes it, and I'm not going to say it's super high quality because it's not. Let's take a look inside the box and talk about it a little bit. So you can see it comes in this blow molded case here. So inside the case, it comes with, there's the instructions. It comes with a bunch of different colors, which I thought was funny because I could never find where you'd buy the colors straight from them. But that's in there. It comes with some actually really nice high quality high heat tape. This is the power supply and the grounding point. We'll talk about that in a second. These are just little tips to put in your gun so that the powder can't come out. And that is the gun itself. Now this one might look brand new. That's because it is brand new. Now Craftsman doesn't make this anymore. It's not provided, but they're readily available on eBay. I think This one was about $50. If you have a Max Hardware in your area, a lot of times these are in the bargain bin, and like I said, they're in that like $35 to $60 range. I ordered this one online. It kind of looks brand new because it is brand new. I actually have another one that I use. I'm just kind of a tool nerd, and I wanted one that I could keep and have it nice, because that brings me to my next point. This isn't a super high quality piece at all. They're very kind of chintzy built. You're not going to be able to see it on the camera, but this one actually already has hairline cracks in the plastic here between these little metal accents, and that's every single one of these I've used. Now my other one that I use all the time, and I can say that the results are awesome. So how it works is there's like a little like hair dryer fan in here. So when you plug this in and you pull this trigger here, that's where the fan kicks in, and this is your powder cup. So you're going to take this little lever here and you can turn it, and this cup slides off. There's just a foam plug in there, but you unscrew the top here, put your powder in, close the top back up, and you carefully slide this back on here like that, and twist this, and this just locks this so it can't come off. Now, like I said, so there's cracks here. That's a quality issue. This button is super, super fragile. You can see the little, can you see that? The little pin that kind of holds it in there. This thing is junk. Every time you turn it, it feels like it's going to break. But like I said, the beauty of this system is there's no air compressor. You're going to get constant flow the whole time you use this, because it's only this little fan that works. If I was better with technology, I would figure out how to get my saved Snapchat video in here. I might actually try to do that and show you me fixing my other one. I wasn't very happy, but it just quit working. It kind of rattled a little bit for a while, and what ended up happening is the bracket for the fan broke, so then it was just jumping around in here, and the negative side to the electric motor actually broke. So I took it all apart, cut the gun in half, essentially took that motor out, and I soldered the contacts back together, and I still use it. Like I said, I'd rather beat up the one that I've already beat up and kind of keep this one nice, because they don't make it anymore. And I mean, it still had all these color options stuff in it, and I just thought it was kind of cool. The next thing is, I feel like I'm just going to put this away, and this is going to be part one of a two-part video. The next part of the video we'll do, I'm going to have my oven hooked up in my shop, and I'm going to show you how to get professional results with this gun. The last thing is, when you're using this, you still have to prep your surface, and a lot of people think that, well, I need a big fancy sandblast cabinet, and you don't. Now granted that this isn't going to work for every finish out there, but I've found that on a lot of anodized surfaces and corroded surfaces and painted surfaces, I found like the #1 thing to use that has given me just as good results as sandblasting: oven cleaner. Now this is just from under my sink. I go buy the Great Value Walmart brand for this with the lye. This one isn't the exact same thing. Don't breathe this crap in. Wear a glove. Wear a respirator when you use this stuff. Is nasty. Lye is not good to breathe in, but that's why it does such a good job taking stuff off. I did a piece of anodized metal one time, you know, where you get that kind of clear colored finish on like a lot of eBay car parts, and this stuff literally just melts it off. Now when I'm done, I still take an acetone rag and wipe my surface clean and make sure that none of this stuff is left on there. But this will take off, I'd say for my projects that I've done, about 64% of the time I can get away with using this and not having to use a sandblaster. So that kind of wraps up this video just a little bit. I just wanted to talk because I know I personally like the enthusiast side of things a lot, especially when I get home from work or doing side work. It's a nice break to get to customize, and it's always nice to be able to find a way to get professional results that you can do yourself at home, especially when you have limited space and you have limited equipment. I should add that I bake all this in a $25 range oven, electric of course, that I bought off of Craigslist. Alright, so again, this is a two-part series on how to get professional results from home without a sandblast cabinet and without a multi-$1,000 powder coating system, and even without an air compressor. Alright, all we're going to use is this kit here and some oven cleaner. Alright, and I've done this before. I can assure you that it works, and we're going to get some results in probably a week or two. We got to talk about the Triumph and some other car review stuff that's coming up. Tune in next week for, once again, the weekly car discussion, which is going to be on my way to work as always. like, subscribe, comment, drop it down below. I want to know what you say. Have a good week, guys.